Flickers in the Dark Episode 35, The Ouija Board Charcuterie.
My name is Mark, and my wife Alice and I recently embarked on a journey of renovating our first home. A charming, if somewhat weathered, old property that we had poured our life savings into. Our excitement was palpable as we renovated the place room by room, our dreams slowly but steadily taking form. Our last two spots to clean were the attic and the basement. Among the clutter left by previous owners, Alice discovered an ornate wooden board in the basement. It was decorated with angelic figures along the edges and featured an alphabet and numerical layout in the center, with YES and NO inscribed in its corners. Alice, with an endearing mix of excitement and innocence, mistook it for a vintage charcuterie board. An accompanying wooden piece she assumed was for scooping dips, completed her glee. I didn't have the heart to correct her, so I went along, hiding my uncertainty behind a smile. Over the next few weeks, our idyllic renovation project took a sinister turn. Doors we had painstakingly hung would fling open on their own, framed pictures plummeted to the floor, and we'd often find every cabinet and drawer in the kitchen agape. Our pride in our handyman skills faltered as our home seemed to rebel against us. One evening, as we were indulging in some cheese and wine on our newfound charcuterie board, I noticed the scooper gliding across the board untouched. I dismissed it as a mere consequence of the uneven floor. A spinning knife that eerily stopped at NO on the board made us laugh, brushing it off as a freak coincidence. Our cat, Whiskers, added to the growing unease. His behavior became erratic. He seemed on edge, often staring into random corners of the house with a sense of hostility. He loathed the charcuterie board and his hatred pushed us to dispose of it. However, the night we discarded it, our air conditioner malfunctioned. Not that it stopped working, but it refused to switch off. Our home transformed into an icy cavern, forcing us to bury ourselves under heaps of blankets for warmth. The next morning, I woke up to find Alice missing. Hours rolled by, and she didn't return. I couldn't reach her on her phone, and her absence gnawed at my sanity. The charcuterie board, that we had thrown out, was back on the kitchen counter, further feeding my paranoia. The house took a turn for the worse. Doors would creak open on their own, footsteps echoed from empty rooms, and whispers filled the silence. The most distressing were the faint sounds of a baby crying coming from the basement. I reported a break-in to the police, and even though they found no signs of intrusion, I filed a missing person report for Alice. It's been 3 harrowing days now. The house is no longer just a house. It's a pulsating entity filled with noises and whispers. The charcuterie board keeps returning, the temperature keeps dropping, and the doors and cupboards continue their unsettling dance. Every now and then, I hear Alice. Her voice rises from the depths of the basement, a plea for help that tears at my heart. I yearn to rush to her, but fear shackles me. I fear that the moment I step into the basement, the door will seal itself, trapping me inside. I now realize that the problem isn't with my craftsmanship, but with the house itself. I fear that it's not just a house, but a playground for entities unseen. A terrifying game of spirits played on the charcuterie board. But what am I supposed to do? What can I do? I need help, I need guidance. What should I do?